Imagine this. You need to securely manage your entire production database, but you can do it right from your Android phone. No clunky web interface, no slow backend servers getting in the way. Well, a new research paper shows exactly how that's possible, and it's all about cutting out the middleman. Let's dig in and see what this really means.
You know, if you're a developer or you work in IT, you know that sinking feeling. A critical database fix is needed, like right now, and you are nowhere near a laptop. The solutions we've had so far have always been clumsy, slow, and kinda insecure. But this paper asks a really powerful question. What if there was a much, much better way?
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way. Your phone talks to some backend server, which then turns around and talks to the database. It works, sure, but it adds all these extra layers of complexity and delay. But on the right, that's the new approach. Your phone connects directly to the database. Simple, clean, and fast.
So why has this always been such a pain in the neck? Let's break down the specific problems with how we've been trying to manage databases from our phones up until now. The current options, well, they all come with some pretty serious trade-offs. Web dashboards are just clunky on a small screen, right? And those back-end gateways we just talked about, they add lag and give you one more thing that can break. But honestly, the biggest issue is that so many mobile clients just aren't secure enough, and that creates massive, massive risks.
So this research tackles all those problems head-on by proposing this new kind of direct connection. And the solution is actually pretty elegant. It's a native Android app, written in Java, that uses the standard JDBC protocol. Now, if you're a developer, you know that's the same protocol tons of desktop tools use. It creates a direct and crucially a secure link to a MySQL or MariaDB server. No web wrapper, no intermediary server, just a straight shot. Now take a look at this architecture. What's so great about this diagram is just how clean and simple it is. On the left, you've got the Android client with all its moving parts. On the right, the database server. And what's in between? Nothing, just a direct, encrypted channel. This design is the absolute key to cutting down on complexity and getting rid of potential points of failure. And if we peek inside the app itself, it's a full-featured client. You've got your connection manager to handle that secure link. You've got a secure storage module for your credentials, which is super important. And then you have the engines for actually running queries, displaying the results in nice clean tables, and even exporting data to a CSV file. It has all the essentials.
Of course, connecting a phone directly to a production database, I know what you're thinking. It immediately raises a huge question. How on earth do you keep that secure?
Well, the answer really starts with something called the Android Key Store. Think of it like a tiny, super secure vault that's built right into your phone's hardware. And here's the crucial part. The keys that are stored in there can be used for encryption, but they can't be pulled out. They can't be extracted, even if your phone is compromised or rooted. That's the secret sauce. So here's how it all works in practice. First, the app goes to that secure key store to get the encryption keys. Second, it uses those keys to set up a fully encrypted SSL/TLS connection with the database. Third, it sends the queries in a safe format that prevents those nasty SQL injection attacks. And finally, the results come back over that same secure channel.
And the result of all this careful security design is really powerful. The research confirms that this system effectively shuts down the three biggest threats: someone stealing your database password, an attacker injecting malicious code into your queries, and anyone snooping on the data as it flies over the network. Okay, so we've established it's secure, but we all know that extra security can sometimes mean things get slow. So, is a direct connection from a phone actually fast enough to be useful without driving you crazy? Let's look at the numbers. Getting that secure connection up and running takes, on average, just 420 milliseconds. I mean, that's less than half a second. Blink and you'll miss it. How about running a simple select query to just grab some data? Even faster, a blazing 180 milliseconds on average. All right, but what about a heavier lift? Let's say fetching 1,000 rows of data. Even then, you're still looking at only 650 milliseconds. That's still well under a second. When you see these times all laid out together on this chart, it becomes crystal clear. The performance isn't just acceptable, it's actually impressive. The paper confirms these speeds are right on par with lightweight desktop clients, which is huge. It proves this whole direct approach is absolutely feasible for real-world work. So who would actually use a tool like this? Well, the potential audience is pretty broad. For IT staff on call, this is a total game changer for quickly checking on a server. For developers, it's a lifesaver when you need to debug a query and you're not at your desk.
It's also a fantastic tool for students learning SQL or even researchers who need to check on data out in the field.
This whole approach really opens up a lot of new possibilities. So it makes you wonder, what does the future look like for managing our databases directly from mobile?
Now, it's important to keep a balanced view here. The paper is very clear that this isn't meant for the public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop. It's designed for trusted networks, like when you're on a corporate VPN. But the future work they suggest, that's where it gets really exciting. I mean, imagine approving a critical query with your fingerprint, or connecting to PostgreSQL and Oracle databases, or even having AI help you write better queries, right there on your phone. Which really leaves us with one final big picture thought. Our phones are already incredibly powerful computers. So, as secure, high-performance tools like this one become more common, could they finally start to make the desktop truly optional, even for serious technical work? It's a pretty compelling future to think about.